ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्। अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु। तदात्मनि निरते यौपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओमित्येतदक्षरमुद्गीतमुपासीत ओमिति ह्युद्गायते तस्योपव्याख्यानम्। Page 304. संकल्पो वाव मनसो भूयान् यदा वै संकल्पयते अथ मनस्यते अथ वाचमीरयते ताम् ओ नाम्नि ईरयते नाम्नि मन्त्रा एकं भवन्ति मन्त्रेषु कर्माणि। संकल्पभाव मनसो भूयान। The sankalpa, the will, the resolution, the determination is manas bhuyan, is greater than manas. Manas means manasyanam, that state of mind in which one desires to do something. One intends to do something, desires to do something. That manasyanam is what is meant by the word manasya. And that desire is preceded by sankalpa, determination. The desire is preceded by a determination of what is desirable and what is not desirable. So first the mind discriminates or determines in a given situation what is kartavyam. So kartavya, akartavya, vishaya vibhagena samarthanam sankalpaha. So samyak kalpaha sankalpaha. Samyak vibhagena kalpanam nischaya sankalpa. That's how it is explained in a derivative sense. Sankalpa normally means will. To will to do something, to resolve to do something. That's called sankalpa normally. And that is not too different from the desire to do something, manasyanam. Therefore, Bhashyakara here explains the word sankalpa in a derivative sense, not in the commonly understood sense. So, samyak kalpanam sankalpa. Samyak vibhagena kalpanam. Kalpanam nischaya. Vibhagena nischaya. Nischaya is determination, ascertainment. Vibhagena, by division, by discriminating. What is the vibhaga? Kartavya, akartavya vishaya vibhaga. Kartavya vishaya, what is fit to be done. Akartavya, what is not fit to be done. So, first of all, that's samarthanam, the determination, ascertainment, discrimination of what is to be done and what is not to be done takes place. Then alone there can arise a desire for doing something. So, if manas is understood as desire or intention to do something, that to do something presupposes that it is fit to be done. So mind will want to do something provided the mind is determined that this is proper to do, fit to do, worth doing. It's called kartavyam. So that particular state of mind is called sankalpa here, which precedes the manasyanam or the intention to do something. So determination to do, determination that is fit to be done, precedes the actual desire or intention to do. So yogikoyam sankalpa shabdah na rudha iti bhavaha. So word sankalpa is explained in a derivative sense, not in the normal, commonly understood sense. Vibhagena hi samarthite vishay chikisha buddhi bhavati. Vibhagena is samarthite. When that vibhaga, the discrimination is done as to what is fit to be done, what is not fit to be done, then chikisha buddhi, the intention to do something happens, which is called manasyanam. So katham, that's what Shruti herself says. In what way does this happen? Yada vai sankalpayate, when a person wills or resolves kartavyadi vishayan vibhajate. When one discriminates, the kartavyadi means kartavya. When discriminate between what is kartavyam, what is akartavyam, what is fit to be done, what is not fit to be done. Meaning, idam kartum yuktamete. Then what's the conclusion? Idam kartavya means what? Idam kartum yuktam. This is fit to be done. This is proper to be done. Vibhagena samarthite. So between the choices that are available to the mind, vibhaga, the mind classifies kartavyam and akartavyam. So idam kartum yuktam. This is fit or proper to be done. Na yuktam, not proper to be done. So that is what that determination first takes place. Atha manasyate. Then there arises the intention to do something. What is it? Mantran adhiyayati. May I recite the mantras? Because mantras are fit. It is fit, proper to recite mantras. So when that intention to do something happens, then what? Atha vacha, atha anantaram, vacham irayati. Then that mind, which has resolved now to recite the mantra, that reciting mantra also happens in a certain number of stages. Number of steps are involved before you actually recite the mantra. First step is what? Vacham irayati. ireti, to impel. Vacham, the organ of speech, must be first made active. What for? Mantra, the ucharana again. The speech can do any number of things. It can sing also. It can give lecture also. It can utter mantras also. So speech, organ of speech must be impelled to do a particular mantra, the ucharana irayati. The organ of speech is now impelled for the recital of mantra, etc. Tam chavachamu namni irayati. So, now, mantra is a particular kind of word. Before you utter a particular word, there is utterance of word in general. So, general is preceded by particular. Meaning universal is preceded, samanya is preceded by vishesha. Before you make an ornament, there is samanya, the gold must be there before you can make ornament, which is the particular state of the gold. So mantra is particular kind of words that are called mantras. And words are what? The articulated speech. Speech articulates as words, and certain kinds of words are called mantras. So first the speech is, hey, come on, speech now. Utter articulated words. Then words, then mantras. So atha manasyati, so नामोच्चारण निमित्तं विवक्षां कृत्वा तो ताम वाचमु नामनि irayati, that now I am going to utter the words and accordingly impels that speech. Namni mantraha ekam bhavanti, namni nama samanye mantraha shabda visheshaha. In the words in general, the particular words called mantras, they get included because they precede. And the cause and effect relationship is there. Antarbhavanti ityartha. So manasyananantaram vachas samanyane priyanam bhavati. After manasyanam meaning the intention to utter, then the speech is impelled in general. Samanya priyanam idam nama uchariti evam, then having impelled the speech, then idam nama ucharetavyam, this word has to be uttered. Iti evam vikshapur vishesha priyanam bhavati. And then mantranapi namatvat namni mantraha iti adhar adhari bhava. Nama is the samanya state of mantra. Mantra is the particular state of nama. Therefore, mantra visheshatma. Therefore, samanya includes the vishesha. Samanya includes samanya state before vishesha. Vishesha is contained in samanya. Ornaments are contained in gold. Gold is samanya. Ornament is vishesha. Ornaments are contained in gold. Similar mantras, which are the vishesha, particular kinds of words are contained in words in general. So the Shruti said, Namni mantraha ekam bhavanti. All of this began with name, understand. Namayava etad, hey Narada, what all you know is, it's just nama. They are all just words. In that, mantras are all included. Mantreshu karmani. In all the mantras, the karmas, the actions get included. Now we are in the last line on that page 304. Nanu mantra karmanoho samanya visheshatmakatva abhavat. So between nama and mantra, the relation of samanya and vishesha. But between mantra and karma, that relationship is not there. That mantra is a samanya universal state before karma. That is not so. Katham mantreshu karmanam antarbhava iti ashankya. then on what basis do you say that the karma, the rituals are all included in mantra? So, mantra prakashitanam eva karma anushthanad. Karma is ritual. Karmanam anushthanad. Which rituals is fit to be performed? Mantra prakashitanam eva karmanam. So traditionally, the Vedikas will only perform those rituals which are prescribed by the Vedas. And says that all the rituals have their origin in mantras. The mantras that reveal the ritual. And then it will elaborate by Brahmana. So Veda consists of mantra and Brahmana. So the ko-Vedaha. The question is, what is Veda? Apaurushayam Vakyam Vedaha. There are different definitions of word Veda, but Apaurushayam Vakyam Vedaha. The Vakya, the statement, Apaurusha, not the product of the human mind, means that which is revealed by Ishvara, is called Veda. Such a Vidhi, Mantra, Namadheya, Nisheda, Arthavad, Bhedat, Arthavad, Panchavidaha. Vakya is five kinds of Vakyas are there. Vidhi, Mantra, Namadheya, Nisheda, Artha, or you can say Mantra Brahmanatmako Vedaha. That also is. Rest is all called Vidhi, Namadheya, Nisheda, Arthavad is all part of Brahmana. So you can say that the Veda consists of Mantra and Brahmana. Brahmana can be further divided as Vidhi, Nisheda, Arthavad, Mantra, Namadheya, So now what is Brahmana? Brahmana is the elaboration of mantra. So real Veda is mantra. Brahma or Veda is mantra. So when this is Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, etc., what is intended is mantra, the Samhita section of that mantra. And I call it Samhita section, call it mantra section. And what is Brahmana? Elaboration of that. That's the general definition. So Brahmanas only elaborate what is there in the mantras. Apparently Brahmanas have no independent pramanyam other than the mantras. So all Brahmanas passages must be traced to mantras. Now you see, once you define, then you have to stretch everything out and fit everything into that structure. So once the definition is given, then so similarly for everything, Vedanta also, once definition is given that this is this and that, then everything has to fit it into that. And then the texts don't lend themselves into that. You can't fit all Upanishads into your pattern of Advaita Vedanta or even Bhagavad Gita or any text. They're independent creations. Now you see a particular meaning and you want to see consistent, all Vedas of Brahma as their subject matter. And Jiva Brahma Aikya is the subject of all the Vedas. No, then you decided that first. And then you twist and turn every Veda, to ultimately arrive at that Tatparya. This may be too crude for me to say that, but I am saying this is general tendency. So many people are revolted against this. Says, no, that's not the way to treat a text. And so Lokmanya Tilak says, I have read all the commentaries. And I have come to the conclusion that every commentator has an agenda. And therefore, they see their agenda in a given text. He says, I want to approach without any agenda. No, there is no possibility that you can approach without it. The problem is, everybody has an agenda. No human being is, whatever you call, I'm impartial, I'm objective. There is no such thing as being impartial and being objective. If you're a human being, as long as you think that you are so and so, You become sthita prajna and you are abiding in Brahman, then you are impartial. Samoham sarvabhutesh. But until then you are not. You have decided that you are so and so. So when I am so and so, then there is always going to be something that is conducive to so and so and things that are not conducive. So everybody approaches only with an agenda. Even those who say we don't have an agenda, itself is an agenda sometimes. So in Lokmanya, Tilak came to the conclusion that Bhagavad Gita teaches karma. That is the primary teaching of Bhagavad Gita. So Jnanam is primary teaching by Bhashyakara. Bhakti is primary teaching by other Bhakti Acharyas. So one is, all of them accept that karma, bhakti and all are taught, which is subsidiary, which is principal. For one, Jnanam is principal, other two are subsidiary. Bhakti is principal, other two are subsidiary. Karma is principal, others are subsidiary. So all Mahatma Gandhi, the whole school of those people were all karma oriented. Not that they had no bhakti or no jnanam, no. But karma is the primary thing. Without karma, without doing something, you cannot achieve anything. Because you have to bring about a transformation in yourself. And that transformation comes when you do something. And that has happened. Somebody said that look, they are all social, the people, team of people went to all the way to Arunachal Pradesh, and then there are so many refugee camps and a lot of things are there, and they went and worked among those people. So they were different people when they came back. So when you experience that pain and when you invoke in you that compassion, so that's when really things happen. Simply by meditating and simply by thinking, things don't happen. It may happen to somebody who is ready, but for most people it doesn't happen. Most people require hammering and they require a gross treatment for transformation. So karma provides that. Hands-on things. Not talking about things, hands-on things. Talkers remain talkers for the whole of their life. Doers really accomplish things. Anyway, so this is an opinion. All doers ठीक है, bhakti, Bhagavan, what you require is Ishvara's grace, otherwise nothing happens. So all right, you have to know. That's the only way to do things. So everybody approaches with a sudden predisposition or a preconceived conclusion. But here the Veda is divided to mantra and brahmana. That's first division. And Vidhi and Nisheda are the Mahavakyas. That's the primary Vakyas of Veda. The whole Veda has to fit into that. Therefore you classify all of the Vakyas. You say in 5, so Vidhi, Nisheda, Arthavada, Mantradheya, Namadheya and Mantra. So all Vakyas are divided. Then all of them will be connected to Vidhi. And Nisheda is another kind of Vidhi only. So this becomes a necessity to do that. So the whole Veda is analyzed all right, but with this in mind, as to how every Vakya can be connected to some Vidhi directly or indirectly. Then only Amnayasya Kriyartatvat Anarthakam Atadarthana. If a Vakya or a statement cannot be connected to karma or a Vidhi, what is Vidhi? Do this. Nisheda, don't do this. So if you cannot connect a Vakya directly or indirectly with this, a Pramana, the Vakya is not a Pramana. So Kriyartatvat. But Vedas, there is no Vakya which is Anarthakam. So every Vakya must fit into one of these categories to become meaningful. So Mantra Prakashitanam eva karmanam anushthanat. That karma or ritual is fit to be performed only when it is revealed by mantra. In that sense, mantra, because it reveals the ritual or karma, therefore karma is included in mantra. So Bhashyakara says, page 304, last line, mantra prakashitani karmani kriyante na amantrakam asti karma. Here Bhashyakara says the conclusion of the Mimamsakas. So, when Bhashyakara makes a statement, it comes from the Mimamsa, this Purva Mimamsa. And the Vedantins accept the Mimamsakas as far as all Vyavahara is concerned. As far as Darshanam is concerned, we differ. But as far as Vyavahara is concerned, whatever Mimamsaka says, Bhattamata, whatever Bhatta says, is acceptable to us. So this is there, already they have analyzed and come to this conclusion. Mantra prakashitani karmani kriyante na amantrakam asti karma. Only those karmas, the rituals which are prakashitani, revealed by the mantras, they alone are performed. There is no ritual which is not revealed by mantra. So this is a big statement, you know. Says Anandagiri, Katham karma na amantrakam asti iti uchyate. Earlier question was, mantreshu anupalabdha karmanam katham antarbhava. Katham mantreshu karmanam antarbhava. How do you say that the karmas are all included in mantras? What karmas? Mantreshu anupalabdha karmanam katham mantreshu antarbhava. If the karma is not found in mantra, if there are karmas or rituals which are not revealed by mantras, how do you say that all the rituals are included in mantras? So Bhashyakara said, mantra prakashitani karmani kriyante na amantrakam karmasti. Only the rituals revealed by the mantras are performed, and there is no ritual which is not revealed by mantra. So Anandagiri says, katham karma na amantrakam asti iti uchyate. How do you say that all the rituals are all necessarily revealed by mantras? Brahmana vihitasyapi karmana darshanat. Because Brahmana section, in fact, Vidhi, it enjoins karmas. Most karmas are enjoined by the Brahmana section. Amum yaja, you worship this devata, that devata, to fulfill this desire, that desire. So as far as we see, all Vidhi and Nisheda, the enjoyment is found in Brahmana section. In mantras, we don't find Vidhi Nisheda. So Brahmanas are also enjoining rituals. So that means there are rituals enjoyed by Brahmanas. There may be rituals enjoyed by mantra. So how do you say that all the rituals are included in mantra? Because there are many rituals which are enjoined by Brahmana section also. So Brahmana hitasyapi karmana darshanat iti asankyaha. So Bhashyakara explains that statement. If you go to the other tika, mantra prakashitanam karmanam anushthanat, that's one thing. Secondly, mantrena prakashitasya karmana swarupa labhadapi. That a ritual gets its existence. A ritual comes into being only when a ritual is revealed by mantra. That there is a ritual called Agnihotra. So Agnihotra is born. Agnihotra exists. The Agnihotra depends upon mantra for its existence. It is mantra that brings into existence a ritual such as Agnihotra. So mantrena, so that is why Swarupa Labhat. Karmana, Swarupa Labha means what? Coming into existence. A mantra owes its existence to, a ritual owes its existence to mantra when the mantra reveals that ritual. So Bhashyakara says, na amantarikam karma asti. There is no karma or ritual which does not owe its existence to mantra. So Yadhi, Bhashyakara says here, Yadhi mantra prakashanena labda sattakam sat karma brahmanena idam kartavyam asmai phalaya iti vidhiyate. Yaddi mantra prakasha labda sattakam karma. So, labda sattakam means what? That which finds its satta, which is born. A mantra which exists because it is a ritual exists because it is revealed by mantra. So, that a mantra comes into being, a ritual comes into being only when it is revealed by mantra. Then only tat karma, sat or tat karma, that karma which has come into being because being revealed by mantra, brahmanena vidhiyate. That karma alone is enjoined by Brahmana. So when Brahmana section enjoins rituals Agnihotra, Agnihotra already has come into being because it is revealed by the mantra. Then Brahmana says, idam kartavyam asmai phalayati. So idam kartavyam Agnihotram kartavyam swarga phalaya. So all that is provided by Brahmana. Agnihotra itself is revealed by mantra. Then how to perform Agnihotra, what does Agnihotra, what's the result of Agnihotra, etc. is all done by Brahmana. That's called elaboration of mantra. So mantra brings into existence a ritual such as Agnihotra. Then Brahmana section takes that Agnihotra and provides all other information. So idam kartavyam asmai phalayati, this is to be done for this result. By this is to be done by this person for this result. So who should do Agnihotra? Brahmana will specify. What will Agnihotra do to me? Brahmana will tell you. How iti kartavya, how to do Agnihotra? Again Brahmana will tell you. So without Brahmana nothing can be done. But Brahmana will only elaborate that which is brought into existence by the mantra. This is the principle of Mimamsa, the conclusion of Mimamsa. So says Anandagiri, Brahmanasya mantra vyakhyan rupatvat atispashta mantra anupalambhevi kalpyate mantroktatvam ityartha. So Brahmanasya mantra vyakhyan rupatvat. So again a Brahmana is explained, is defined as mantra vyakhyan rupam Brahmanam. Brahmana is a section of the nature of vyakhya, explanation or elaboration of what is there in mantra. Once you define this, now then you find in Brahmana something which you don't find in mantra. Now what do he says? Mantra anupalambhevi kalpyate mantroktattvamiti. Suppose Brahmana talks about a ritual. Say Jyotishtam, I don't know, Somayaga, etc., etc., of which you do not find origin in mantra. Then, since Brahmana can only elaborate what is there in mantra, therefore you have to presume. So kalpyate. So by arthapatti, you presume that somewhere in mantra this ritual must have been revealed. Even though that mantra is not available to you, but that mantra must be somewhere to be revealed, to be elaborated by Brahmana. Just as all the Smriti Granthas owe their existence to Shruti. This is again one principle done. Shruti and Smriti. All the texts are divided into Shruti and Smriti. So Purana Itya is all part of Smriti. So Smriti has no pramanyam or validity unless it has its source in Shruti. So Smriti must have necessarily its source in Shruti. Shruti is heard, revealed by Ishvara. And Smriti is composed by a sage. It's called Smriti, means what? Memory. Memory only can come from experience. So we imagine that these great sages must have experienced what the Vedas have said, and from that they have written. What law books, they give you the guidelines of how to live your life, how to implement that Vedic teaching into your life. That's what Smriti does. So Shruti gives us the principles in general, and how those principles must be implemented or practiced in life. That guideline or direction is given by Smriti. So Smriti is called law books. They give you laws or a code of conduct. They give many things in fact, but code of conduct is a primary thing. They tell you about creation also, they tell you about all sorts of moksha, they tell you about many things. But primary contribution of Smriti, you say, is providing us with code of conduct. How to conduct? But our conduct must be in keeping with the teaching of the Vedas. But Veda is a pramanyam. The Smriti only elaborates what the Shruti has said. So if you find some section in Smriti which you cannot trace to some Veda, then you presume that there must be some passage in Vedas which would be available to that sage, not available to you. So that's how you presume. Otherwise, Smriti has no pramanyam independently. Now, because only Shruti should have pramanyam. Now, that once that is determined, then everything has to fit in that structure. Because Smriti is composed text. It is Paurushayam Vakyam. What is Veda? Apaurushayam Vakyam Veda. Paurushaya Vakya means a Vakya or a statement which has originated from the Purusha Buddhi, from the intellect of a human being. And human intellect is always limited. It has so many doshas or defects. So avidya, ignorance, samshaya, viparyaya. So karana apatavam, inadequacy of your means of knowledge, etc. And then also vipralambha, belief that I know everything or I have known what is to be known. All these problems are there with human intellect, however great the human being is. Therefore, what evolves from human intellect cannot be the ultimate pramanam. But Veda is Apaurishayam Vakyam, revealed by Ishvara, who is Sarvagnya, omniscient, therefore, that is Nirdosha, there is no Desha. All of this, is the basis. If you don't accept that basis, then nothing works. So modern people don't accept all these bases anyway. The thing is, so that is how a lot of revolt takes place, People revolt. So how do you say this? So they don't have reverence. We have reverence for the sages, we have reverence for tradition, we have reverence for our teachers, and so we accept what they say. But if you don't start with the reverence, then what? You'll question everything. And then they will independently investigate. They will not. So, the Mimamsaka, they've investigated, arrived at all these conclusions and all these, principles or Siddhanta. They will independently do that and arrive in their own way, their own conclusion. He says, no, all Upanishads don't say, etc., etc. So this is always going on, And we being traditional people, that way, we get also restricted only thinking in a certain way. Although we don't care because our objective is only knowledge. and that there is no doubt about the fact that everything is Brahman, that I am Brahman. So that is what basically I personally accept. Other things are all fine. Nobody can question this. Then we don't accept any questions as far as this basic truth is concerned. Other things are okay. So I personally do not feel obliged to necessarily subscribe to everything. But Tattvamasi, we subscribe to that in a primary sense. And everything else, if they fit or don't fit, is not our problem. Tattvamasi is what the basic pramana is a pramana vakya. For as far as I see my thing, And so, sometimes otherwise you go overboard, you become so fanatic that Rishis are sarvajñaha, they are all omniscient, they cannot say. He said something 5,000 years ago about Charaka, said something about health. No, they accept it literally, that they know everything and they only told about all diseases, they have given all medicines, nothing is new. Then you restrict yourself, So similarly, nothing is new, everything is in the Vedas, including all astrology and astronomy and aeronautics, everything is there, And so they must trace everything to Vedas. Geology is there, zoology is there, botany is there, this is there, that is there. Well, why do you burden Vedas with all this stuff, Because you want to insist that Vedas are omniscient and the whole creation has come from the Vedas and therefore nothing is outside the scope of Vedas and therefore it must, So anyway, you can go to other extreme also, that we don't accept anything and we accept everything, And therefore, that's all discrimination comes. You can't say that we don't accept anything. You should not. It's difficult to say that we accept everything. That every statement of Veda is a pramana, because sometimes they don't live up to that expectation. All these texts, they're all great. But 100% is very difficult, whatever text it is. Bhagavatam also, there may be sections which perhaps you may have your own opinion about, or Ramayana, Mahabharata, and all of them texts. Then they say they're all, what is it called? Kshepaka. It's all added later on by somebody, which also is possible. So there is no vyavastha then, So then what portion you don't accept is all Kshepaka, what you accept is original, etc. So it's a very amazing situation anyway, but to, as I said, fit any given text into a very watertight compartment is very difficult, and sometimes doing injustice to the text also, or may be very difficult for us to correlate with everything. But anyways, mantreshu karmani, it is said, all rituals are included in mantra. Therefore, this comes from Mimamsa. So Mimamsa says that all rituals are necessarily revealed by mantras, then alone they become valid, and then alone Brahmana can elaborate. Otherwise Brahmana does not have independent authority to specify rituals. Brahmanas also have their allegiance to mantras. And then so many questions arise, which of course are all discussed in great detail, but as I said, for a simple thing, mantreshu karmani, that's all karma rituals are included in mantra. Since we don't have question, we don't have any discussion, but then people know things, then there are so many questions there. So if you go to other tika, nanu brahmaneshu karma vidhanam drishyate. In the line number, 7, on the page 305, Nano Brahmaneshu Karma Vidhanam Drishyate. But in Brahman also you find Karma Vidhanam, karmas are enjoined. Agnihotram juhayat swarga kamha ityadishu. So, Agnihotram juhayat swarga kamha. One, swarga kamha, one is desire of swarga, should perform Agnihotra. Tat katham mantra prakashitam karma. So when you find specifically this kind of vidhi or enjoyment in Brahmana section, how do you insist that karma is necessarily revealed by mantra? Anyatha Brahmana Vayarthyat. If you insist that mantra alone is the authority, then Brahmana has no pramanyam. So Brahmana Vayarthyat means Brahmana section has no independent contribution, therefore they become meaningless or without contribution. So Bhashyakara says Yadhiti, that we already read. So Satyam, Tikakara says Satyam, meaning you are right, that Brahmanas do provide vidhi or enjoyment. But vidhi is also of different kinds. Brahmaneshu karma vidanam drishyate. In Brahmana section also you find the enjoyment of karma or rituals. Tathapi tad viniyoga adhikar vidhanam eva utpatti vidhistu mantreshu eva. So then the vidhis are of four kinds, Ajnata artha jnapako veda. So what is vidhi? What's the technical definition of vidhi? Ajnanartha jnapako veda bhago vidhi. So vidhi is not enjoyment. Ajnanartha jnapakaha. So that which makes you know what is otherwise unknown. So that's called pramanam. Pramanam is a valid means of knowledge. Ajnatartha jnapakam pramanam. Valid means of knowledge always enables you to know what is otherwise unknown. So eyes enable us to know the colors and forms which are otherwise unknown through any other means of knowledge. Ears make us know or experience these sounds which are otherwise not available for any other means of knowledge. So also Vedas reveal to us those truths which are not otherwise available for any other means of knowledge. So in that sense, ritual, for example, so vidhi, then sadhan and sadhya is what the Vedas tell you. So they tell you what sadhya means, there is something called swarga which you would never otherwise known. And sadhana, agnihotra is sadhana or means of attaining swarga, which also you would not have known. So you would not have known sadhya, would not have known agnihotra, would not have known sadhya sadhana sambandha. Agnihotra can bring about swarga, that also so you don't know swarga, don't know agnihotra, and do not know that Agnihotra performs Agnihotra is means of Swarga. None of this we know. So then when the Veda says that Agnihotram juhuyat Swarga kamaha, Swarga, one desire of Swarga, so that also Vedas will tell you. Swarga kamaha, one desire of Swarga, juhuyat, should perform Agnihotram. So sadhanam, sadhya, adhikari, who is adhikari? Swarga kamaha juhuyat. Not anybody else. Only one desire of Swarga should perform Agnihotra. If you are not interested in Swarga, then you should not perform that karma. So Arthi means what? One who is interested in the result of that ritual. So Satyam, Brahmaneshu karma vidhanam drishyate. But then vidhana or vidhi are of different kinds. First of all, utpatti vidhi, viniyoga vidhi, adhikar vidhi, prayoga vidhi. There are four kinds of vidhi, meaning that all vidhi or the statements of injunction are divided into four categories. Utpatti vidhi. Utpatti means that which brings into existence. Yatha Agnihotram juhoti. One should perform Agnihotra karma. So Agnihotra is unknown, is brought into knowledge. So something which is unknown to us is brought to our knowledge, is called Utpatti. So the Agnihotra is already known. Then you need to know further, have further information about Agnihotra. Anga pradhana sambandha bodhako vidhi, viniyoga vidhi. Anga and pradhana. So if you want to perform Agnihotra, that's a pradhana. Then there are so many other related rituals you should do. So when the Brahmanas priests perform the homa here, so many other things they do ultimately before they arrive at the oblation, offering. So Purva Puja is done, that is done, and then you must also set up the Vedi, you must bring all the bricks, and then you must, sanctify them, and so the whole procedure. So before, what is Agnihotra? Meaning before the offering is made to the Devata, which is the principal thing, so many other things have to be done. That's called the Anga. So Anga and Pradhana. For Satyanarayana Katha, there are so many other Anga. Then you must do the Varuna Puja, you must do this, Ganesha Puja, you must do this, then, so many things must be done. You must have Naivedya, so all these are Anga. So then that Vidhi which enables you to know the relationship between Anga and the Pradhana is called Viniyoga Vidhi. So Viniyoga, Prayoga, how to, what's the, what the Vidhi consists of, particular. Then, so Agnihotram Juhuya Swarga Kamaha. So third is Adhikara Vidhi. Who is the Adhikari? Who is the person fit to attain that result? Karmajanya Phala Swamya Bodhako Vidhi Adhikara Vidhi. So Karma Jana Phala, Janya Phalam. A karma gives rise to Phala. That Phala goes to whom? Who is the Swami of that? Who is the Bhokta of that karma? Phala. So, Swarga Kama in this case, or Brahmano Yajeta. So that is the Adhikari for that karma Phala is stated, is called Adhikara Vidhi. And finally, Prayoga Prashubhavodhako Vidhi, Prayoga Vidhi. Whatever that means, so that which gives in a performance of a ritual, that which tells you how to perform the ritual in a certain systematic way, I guess, how to quickly perform the ritual. So that is Prayoga Vidhi. Prayoga means how to do things. Iti Kartavyata, how to do things. So Utpatti Vidhi tells you about the ritual or something which is otherwise unknown. Then the Viniyoga Vidhi, what all is involved in performing the ritual, what are the all subsidiary rituals and things involved, Anga. Then Adhikara, Prayoga Vidhi, how to perform the ritual. Adhikara Vidhi, who is the one who is qualified to enjoy the fruits of the ritual. All of this you should know. So Satyam Brahmaneshu Karma Vidhanam Drushyate. It is true that in Brahmana section also Vidhanam, the enjoyment of karma of the rituals is seen. Tathapi tad Viniyoga Adhikara Vidhanam eva. But all of them only tell you, so what a ritual consists of, and who is the one qualified to perform the ritual and enjoy the result, and how to perform the ritual. This is what Brahmanas say. Utpatti Vidhi is not there. Meaning Brahmanas do not talk about a ritual which is unknown. Brahmanas only talk about, give all other information. Who is Adhikari, what is all involved, what is the procedure of a ritual which is otherwise already known through Brahmana. So Utpatti is only in Brahmana, and other vidhis of Viniyoga and Adhikari and whatever, so Prayoga, all of these are given by Brahmana. So Brahmanas do give vidhi, but not Utpatti vidhi, other vidhis. Utpattehe mantratah labha sambhave. So you should not do one vidhi in two places. So if one vidhi is found one place, you don't require it in another place. So Utpatte mantrato labha sambhave. Utpatti of a ritual can be known from mantra. Tatrapi tasya tatpari kalpane gauravapattu. Imagine then that the Brahmanas also independently give you Utpatti vidhi of ritual and mantras also give. Then there are two sources, which is Gauravam. There should not be two. If one source can explain, two sources are not required. So the conclusion is all Utpatti vidhi Meaning the origination of all the rituals is in mantras, and rest of the information all supplied by Brahmanas. That is also busy. So, mantra will say Agnihotram Juhuyat. But what is Agnihotra? What does it consist of? Brahmana will say. How to perform Prayoga? Brahmana will say. Who should perform? Brahmana will say. So, rest of the information, other three vidhis are given by Brahmana, and Utpatti is given by mantra. So, they say that Utpatti is one vidhi should be found in two places, should be found only in one place. अनेन साधनेन अनेन कर्त्रा अस्मै फलाय idam kartamyati vinyogadhe tatra pratitehe. Yes. So, what do you find in Brahmana section? Anena sadhanena, by this sadhana, such as Agnihotra. Anena kartra, by this karta, by this adhikari, such as Swarga Kama or Brahmana or whatever. Asmai falaya, Swarga falaya, idam kartavyam, Agnihotram kartavyam. But what is Agnihotra? For that you have to refer to mantra. So mantra will tell you that there is Agnihotra. And then Brahmana will tell you rest of the things. So that is why that all the rituals have their origination in mantras, and Brahmanas then provide you the rest of the information. This is the conclusion. Therefore it is said that so mantra prakashitanam eva karmanam anushthanat. The karmas or rituals which are originally revealed by mantras, they alone are fit, or they alone are in fact performed, they alone are implemented. Itadeva prapanchayati, this is what is explained by Bhashyakara, yapi ityadina. So Bhashyakara says, yapi utpattihi brahmaneshu karmanam drishyate sapi mantreshu labda sattakanam eva karmanam spashtikaranam. So Anandagiri said that if you do not find some origination in mantra, you presume that it must be there. That's what Bhashyakara says in different words. Yapi utpatti brahmaneshu karmanam. Suppose you find an utpatti within Brahmana. Meaning, suppose Brahmana seems to talk about a ritual otherwise not known through mantras, etc. Then what do you imagine? Sapi mantreshu labda sattakanam eva karmanam spashtikaranam. Suppose Brahmana section talks about utpatti, like Agnihotram Juhoti. Then we should imagine, Bhashyakara says that you should presume that Agnihotra must have already originated in mantra section, and this Brahmana, even though seems to talk about utpatti, is only an elaboration of what is already revealed by the mantra. So this is what we presume. So that's why Anandagiri said, so atispashta mantra anupalambhevi kalpyate mantroktatvam ityartha. So even though specifically you may not be able to locate a mantra where this particular ritual is revealed, you presume that it must be there. And that Brahmana only does elaboration. And so spashtikaranam, clarifying, elaborating. So Brahmanas are assigned only that. So this is what Brahmana is, looked upon as. This is Brahmana's role, that is determined. So they won't do anything else. If they are found to do something else, it is not anything else, it must be already there, which is what they are elaborating. So Brahmanas will not say anything independently, can only elaborate what is stated in mantra. If you can't find a mantra, you presume that it must be there. So all strict classification, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, this, that. Now you can't budge, A Brahmana cannot do that, and Kshatriya. So therefore the American says, you mean that a person born in a carpenter family, now he can't become an engineer, he cannot become a businessman, he can't do that. In Vedic, you cannot do that. Now, that's the thing. Even though there may be a person born in a carpenter family who is good at business, because he is born in Vaishya, Shudra, or whatever, he has no freedom to do that. And a Vaishya fellow may be good at doing something else. He can't do that because you already determine Vaishya means this, Shudra means this, Kshatriya means this, Brahmana means this. So when there is all this strict structure, every structure will suffocate always some people. Because there are some people who don't fit into any structure, they are always there. There are many people who are all conformists, so they don't mind structure. There are many who don't conform. That's how their nature is. And if there is strict structure, then they will be suffocated, then they will revolt. So they will violate the structure. So what do you punish them? You violate it, therefore you don't belong here. Get out, So you violate and then you punish them. You punish them. You punish them. Ultimately, those who are punished are in majority. Then those who are conforming to things, that's what happens. What has happened in India? That all these other castes, which are called Dalita, etc., all of them are outcast. And there is a larger number now in India than this so-called Savarna caste, Thank God that all inter-caste marriages are happening and there is no caste. So there is nobody to actually discard them now. Otherwise, there will be many more outcasts. Because all inter-caste marriages, interstate marriages, inter-this marriage, interfaith marriages, all kinds of things are happening. It will happen. All Indians go to America and so one father says, Swamiji, we don't know what our daughter will bring home, Because all of a sudden we bring a man, says, here is, my friend, boyfriend. He is a black fellow, he is a Muslim fellow, he is a Christian fellow, anybody. And there is nothing you can do. Not that your daughter will do what you want her to do, she will do what she wants to do. Okay, fine. You have to shake hands and you have to welcome them, you have to do everything. But as I said, when any structure becomes very rigid, then that structure will do more harm than a structure is required to guide people. Without structure, nothing will happen. So you require a law. Constitution will require to guide people. Should be so rigid that because no law can take into account all the conditions. Even Panini cannot do that. Such elaborate grammar rules, but still there are many exceptions. That's how you know in grammar that every rule is only known by exception. So you have to accept exception because those fellows did not conform this rule, Or the rule is derived from what is there, but there is no rule that can explain everything. No equation in the world that can explain all phenomena in science. No one phenomenon even can be explained by millions of equations. You can approximate. To insist that we can explain everything, these all Nayayikas, all of those, we can define everything. Kya you can define everything? Vedanta, you can't define anything. It's all mithya. Okay. But in mithya, then when you have such strict things, then it becomes very difficult. So, how you must have flexibility, but not looseness, not pajama thing that everything is okay. That also is not right. At the same time, nothing other than this is okay also is difficult. That's why wisdom is required, maturity is required, leadership is required. You require great people to guide the community, guide the society. And so only people like Shankaracharya, all these great people alone can do. They're all reformers. To us they look very orthodox, but for them, that time they were very modern, From today's point of view, Manu Smriti is all, orthodox. But Manu in his time was a reformer. So what all existed in that time, he accommodated then, and then he also gave many flexibilities also. But there is always a limit to what you can do in a given time and given place. So then later on, after 100 years, you condemn them. But you should know what existed 100 years ago. And then this was itself a great thing at that time. So what sort of telephone you have this? What is this? A smart one? That's all right, but 50 years ago, this was the thing. Today you have a smartphone and so you ridicule to that, but that's okay. So the new generation will ridicule the old generation. That also is wrong. And so one has to be very mature, very wise before making any statements, before drawing conclusions, before making broad statements, generalized statements. All Hindus are like this, all Muslims are like this, all these fellows are like that. There is no such thing. Yet all are like that. And so that is Bhagavan's creation, that all cannot be. Himself is, he does not conform to anything. The Lord Krishna doesn't conform to anything. And therefore his creation also doesn't conform to everything, But anyway, so it's very interesting. All these processes, are very interesting. So sometimes discussions arise because already you concluded that there is a watertight structure, that everything must fit into that structure. And then you have difficulty in fitting things. And sometimes we can see that difficulty also. But anyway, so Bhashyakara also sapi mantreshu labdha sattakana karunam spashtikaranam. So in case you find an utpatti, what looks like an utpatti vidhi in Brahmana also should not be taken as utpatti, it must be only taken as an elaboration of what is already utpannam, what is already existing in the mantra. If you cannot locate that mantra, you presume that a mantra must be there where this ritual also has already been revealed. Then says Anandagiri, Nahi, where is Nahi? So if you go to the line number, 28, Spashtikaranamiti, Agnir Jyotirityadi Swahanta Mantra Bhagatasya Agnihotradi Namna Vishesha Nirdesha Ityartha. So now what happens is, in the mantra you find this kind of mantra. Agnir Jyoti, our Swami Shivanandaji, they chant this mantra, Agnir Jyoti, this, So Swaha, so you find that kind of mantra in the mantra section. The Agnihotra word you do not find. You follow? In mantra section you may not find the word Agnihotra. What you find is Agnirjyotihi ityadi swahanta mantra avagatasya Agnihotradi namna vishesha nirdesha. So what is already there in mantra, but not specifically named Agnihotra. So Brahmana section, when Brahmana is Agnihotra, you don't find Agnihotra word in mantra. So you say, hey, so Brahmana has talked about Agnihotra, it's an original thing. Says no, in mantra section, Agnihotra was intended in other words. So Agnirjyotihi, in that mantra, Agni is there up to Swaha. So that passage, in fact, does not mention the name Agnihotra, but talks about Agnihotra. So then Brahmana section only says that this is Agnihotra. So Agnihotra Dhyana Vishesha Nirdesha. So therefore what is generally or indirectly talked about in mantra, specifically is given specific name in Brahmana. But Brahmana does not tell you something new. It tells only what is there in the mantra. So Spashtikaranam. So word Agnihotra was not mentioned in mantra. And so Brahmana section specifically said, this is Agnihotra. So Syadhetata. Yadi mantra hai karmotpatti sarvapi natu labhyate nirvapa prokshanadinam mantrato labhepi agnayadi pradhan karmanam teshu anavagamat agnirmuda ityadi mantreshu agnayadi suru pratipatti hasti tat devata matra iti ashankya nahi iti. So Syadhetata, another situation. Yadi mantratah karmotpatti sarvapi labhyate. If all the karmas origination you find in mantra, then it would be fine. If mantratah karmotpatti sarvapi labhyeta, if as you insist, karmotpatti, origination of all the rituals in mantra, sarvapi labhyeta, then all the rituals you find in mantras, natu labhyate, but we do not find them. Nirvana prokshanadina mantrato labhepi agne justam nirvapami prokshami. So this mantra you find. So agne justam nirvapami, I am offering this to fire, etc. So then prokshami. So this mantras you find. So nirvapa prokshanadinam mantrato labhepi. So I am doing this, I am making this offering. So this I am sprinkling. So this kind of statement you find. Agnayadi, but where this is with the offering is done, that karma is not mentioned. So Agnayadi pradhana karmanam teshu anavagamat. So pradhana karma is Agnaya karma, in which nirvapanam happens, prokshanam happens. So nirvapanam and prokshanam is found in mantra, but Agnaya etc. is not found. Agnirmurdha ityadi mantreshu. So then Agnirmurdha, what is it? Chakshusi Chandra Suryo. Agnirmurdha, Chakshusi Chandra Suryo. All right. So this mantra you find. So somebody said in this mantra already Agneya the ritual is there. He says no. Tatra Devata Matra Pratite. Only Devatas involved in Agneya. Those Devatas are mentioned. But the ritual is not mentioned. So thing is now, they must have struggled very hard to try to relate every ritual to some portion of mantra. Because mantra will become useless otherwise. So poor mantra has also no independent validity unless that mantra becomes subsidiary to a ritual, you know. A ritual has no validity unless it is origination in mantra. And mantra is no valid unless it is useful in ritual. Now this once you already decide, then alone Veda is pramana. It is pramana because kriyarthatva. The Veda is pramana because kriyarthatvam, because they enjoin ritual, karma. They direct you to karma. So that is first principle. Then mantras have validity only if they contribute to karma, otherwise mantras have no validity. Nothing has validity unless it contributes to karma. How do mantras? Mantras don't talk of karma, but there is origination of karma. So all karmas must be somehow traced to mantra. If the word Agnihotra is not directly mentioned, then so this description means Agnihotra. Okay. So from description then you derive there is Agnihotra. But then Agnirmurdha, they only talks about different devatas, you know. That Agni is the hair and the Chakshusi, Chandra Suryo, the Shashrotre, Vag Vivutascha Vedaha. So that mantra from the Mundaka Upanishad, for example, if this is what is meant here, then it all talks about the different limbs of Bhagavan, all different devatas. So somebody said, because Agni is there, you know, so therefore Agnayadiya, so Agnayadi Pradhana Karma is meant by the word Agni. He says, no. These are all different devatas. Tatra devata matra prati agni nirmurda chakshu chandra surya disha, all the devatas. So in that passage you only find devatas. So the Bhashyakara says nahi iti. So read the last line of the Bhashya. Nahi mantra aprakashitam karma kinchit brahmane utpannam drishyate. Nahi kinchit mantra prakashitam karma. There cannot be, nahi brahmane drishyate, you do not find in brahmana any karma ritual which is not revealed by mantra. So, Abhipraya, the Tikakara says, Keshuchit devam siyabhi yajate dadati cha ityadishu yajati hi shruyate. So sometimes in mantra you find yajati, yaj dhatu, upayog of that. Keshu indragni stomam janayami navyam indragni vrutrahana jushetham ityadishu havihi sampradanatva pratitya yaga pratitihi. So yajati, then yaga pratiti. Agni ashtakapala ityadishu iva. क्वचित केवल देवता प्रतीत्यापि कर्म प्रतीति आकुतिम अग्निम प्रयोजम स्वाहा इत्यादि. So devata, some karma is there in the devatas also. तथा यागदान होमादि विशेष प्रतिधि ब्राह्मण वाक्यात् भविष्यति. So you find some seeds are there in mantra. Some yajati is there, some homa is some, so the juhoti is there, and some devata is there, and some offering is there. So that way the seeds of rituals are found in the mantras. Then tatha yaga, dana, homadi. So yajati you find in mantra. And then havish sampradana pratiti, dana is found in there. And yaga pratiti is found. So yaga, dana, homa, akudim prayojam swaha. So you find yaga, dana, this kriyas are found in mantras. Then Brahmanas in fact elaborate them into specific rituals and specific procedures. Prakriti Agnayadishu Agnirmuda ityadana Devata Mata Shravanebhi Yaga Pratidhi Bhavatyeva. Even though that passage only talks about Devatas, you can see the yaga involved in there. Agniridam Havihi Ajushada ityadi Havis Sambandha Pratite. And so then it must be a long passage in which other information also comes. So the Tikakara in short tells us that in mantras you do find the seeds of what is elaborately found in Brahmana. It's a matter of research, but you do so that research is all done by Mimamsakas. And so that is how they came to conclusion that all rituals have their origination in the mantra section. एवं तत् यथा संभवं कर्म प्रति द्रष्टव्या हेति. यथा संभवं कर्म प्रति द्रष्टव्या. Yes, sambhavam. As possible, you can see the seed of karma in those mantras. The mantra prakasham chedi karma asti bhava. Therefore, there is no karma which doesn't have its seed or origination in mantra. Anyatha sarvatra sakshat karma pratiti brahmane vitulya. In Brahmana section also has many statements where sakshat directly karma is not mentioned. Brahmanasyapi vidayakatvam nasyat. So vidhi nisheda are only statement which you accept as pramanam. In Brahmana also there may be other kinds of descriptions which is not related to a ritual. But then you will see some indirectly connecting it to rituals, so some seed of ritual is to be found. So in Brahmana section also, therefore, Brahmanas elaborate and mantras originate. This is the contribution that they have with reference to the rituals. Loka prasiddhitopi mantraname vidhayakatvam. In Loka prasiddhi, people also use these words. So sometimes when people use some expressions, it conveys some wisdom, So when old people talk about things and they talk about some statements, then some wisdom is contained. So that also is looked upon as a support for pramana. So that's what they say. We'll continue tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeri Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari